So about week ago from today, as of me recording this, I beat Telltale Games' The Walking Dead, the final season, the final episode ever, and I just have some things to say. So this is a series that's meant the world to me in more ways than one. You know, I played the first two seasons back to back. Actually, before I even started the TV show, I played the game. Unfortunately, I knew like pretty much all the spoilers for the first season when I went in, but everything else I went in pretty much blind. And this final episode just left me feeling bliss, actually. It made me feel really good. And it's kind of sad, you know, knowing that this is coming to an end, that it's already come to an end. Telltale as a company obviously fell through, and this being the final episode of a series, it's a sad, but it's also a good thing because it ended on such a high note. You know, I had my doubts of how they'd end this show, and actually halfway through the episode, this game, and about halfway through the episode, I was like, lost all hope. For those of you that haven't played it, no spoilers, just keep pushing through because it's all worth it in the end. It satisfies, and it leaves you feeling hopeful. And it's also just great because we live in a time where these franchises, they never die. You know, they keep going forever. For example, I might get back into the show, but I kind of stopped a little more than halfway through season 8 because I just feel like when there's no end in sight, you just kind of keep going and going and going, and it doesn't feel like there's anything cathartic or like there's anything emotional. Like it's just going. Like it's essentially Walking Dead, right? You know, this felt like a natural end, like a real end. And up until recently, over the past couple of years, I've felt like these things don't end. To see it end on such a pure note with the intent of ending was just something great, and I don't want it to continue. I'm not happy that Telltale went under because, you know, that's really sad, but I'm glad it got to end this way. Because, you know, not a lot of series get that anymore. They keep going, and this series knew when to end, and it really felt like a love letter to all of the fans. This series, actually, I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's a stupid video game, but it's not. And it influenced me so many ways as a creator, as someone who wants to make movies, I think, because it put me in the shoes of these characters in these terrible circumstances where the decisions, even though they didn't always matter in a certain sense, they did, even if they didn't always affect the outcome as much as we'd think, it affected me. And it showed a really interesting way of storytelling, an immersive kind of storytelling that really got me in the heads of these characters. And I think that kind of thought process is what I want to incorporate into my work, you know, connection to the story and characters. So this series, it's one of those pieces of art that will stick with me forever. There are some moments, even from this episode alone, that will stick with me forever, that I won't forget. You know, my friend came in, actually, as I was playing the end. He had never played the games. I tell him this is the last episode, and I told him that Telltale's, you know, it's going out of business, and he was like, really? And I said, yeah, and he said, wow, that's crazy. That's the end of an era. And, you know, I couldn't have said it better. This is the end of an era. It's an era that I'm so glad I lived through, and even if I didn't play every single Telltale game, I played The Walking Dead, and yeah, it's sad that it's come to an end, but I lived through it, and I'm happy that I'll never forget it, and I'll continue to share this series with everyone, because I think it's a series everyone should experience. Even if it's in a weird place where it's not like fully video game, if that makes sense. It's almost like a hybrid between movie and video game, and so because of that, I think a lot of people are going to miss it. And that's for shame, because it's an excellent, excellent series. One that will continue to stick with me and inspire me. The thing is, Telltale went out of business right before episode 2 released, actually, and then for 3 and 4, it was kind of like a skeleton crew. And I know a lot of people lost their jobs, and I know it was very hard, and I think there might have been a third company involved, or a third party, but I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to every single person who helped along the way to bring this wonderful, wonderful series to life. It's hard for me to put into words what this means, and the dedication you had to the fans, that you felt the need to finish this story and finish strong, and you did. when all the odds were stacked up against you, and they say thank you for playing, but I want to thank you guys for making this. I think that's all I have to say, really. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you all.